Hello people, Libluini here in my Let's Play of Gem into Holograms. I mean Dominion 6. I mean Gem into Holograms as Goddess in Dominion 6. We are now at turn 5, I believe. And we did it! We attacked that horrible province filled with flying riders. And let's see what horrible mess our army made. Well, the five dudes I sent in. And, we won. But holy fucking shit. It seems taking on 3-1 chances were a bit much. I mean, we won, but we basically lost everything we had. In fact, only one of the She-Lords I sent in survived. And only because he lost his poor horse. Oh, that's so sad. And the enemy, well, lost a whole fuck ton more. That's nearly 4-to-1 loss ratio, even though Pegasus riders are kind of strong. Insane defense, like our Elf Lord's attack skill is fairly good. Multiple attacks, so like with our troops who have javelins, as soon as they go in melee range it's only lance against lance, but even worse is it's a lance. That means in opposition to our golden spears, those little flying bastards get a charge bonus, and since they can fly, that's a lot of charging bonus. It's incredibly wonder that our She-Lords did not immediately die, like, wow. And these are those poor little Pegasuses we killed so many of. They have their own attack, and they can fly, of course. Well, we killed 13 of them and unhorsed 3 more. Well, we only lost 3, but, well, our 3 were commanders, so that's a higher loss. The funny thing is, all the survivors of this mess then died immediately because they are independent with no way to go. Let's take a look at how this battle in punctuation marks went. Okay. Let's see a bit more. Yeah, as I thought, they immediately landed on us. We basically had just about enough time to bless ourselves. Yeah, that's one of them. I wanted to look at one of my weirdos here. So luckily, in most cases the blasting went through, so we at least get blur and defense skill, and yeah, it's one of the common She-Lords, not one of the pure weirdos. The poor weirdo we made our profit. And then things went fast. We killed and 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 killed. And eventually they ran away. And then our absolute bastards were actually good enough. Hey, oh. The leaders. Okay, that's something I completely forgot, but yeah. Dominating something does this if there is your troops are too far away vertically from the position of your commanders. Sometimes you have enemy troops just walking through like ours did and attacking the commanders directly. And considering how many Amazons were left at the end, well, it's apparently we didn't kill those 2, but they eventually ran away. But hard to see. Let's take a second look. No, the majors were here. It's apparently just that our sudden attack killed those poor bodyguards and then the majors ran away. Well, and then they died anyway, but it's interesting. So we won. A little bit, let's say. We got a lot of income. We have a province where we could recruit Pegasi. I think that's the plural of Pegasus. But troubling is we need a temple here. We have those nice astro and air mages, very useful for us, but we also need a temple and a lab. Yep, temple and lab a temple. The priests sometimes get astro, but not reliably so the sorceresses would probably be better. Pegasus riders are useful, as you can see. They are very nearly defeated our super elves with sheer numbers. But anyway, this is now our province, and we can raise the defense a bit to keep order here. The sad thing is now that our prophet has no horse and no troops. Well, some troops have survived. I think our prophet will now take a step back, since we need a lot more troops to continue. Oh, that's funny. One guy is standing here. Well, you can't stay there forever now. Now things start getting troublesome. First off, I'll move my poor surviving prophet back here, and thank fuck. At least we have one here, but we clearly, as are some of our horses, they work better if they get time to buff themselves and then run straight at the surprised enemy to kill everyone. That works a lot better than standing back and getting attacked. So, let's go back here. We have more money now, but still not enough resources. We probably would need this third province over there that's staunchly refusing to believe in the wonders of gem and the holograms, while in the south our belief starts leaking through. Our dominion has expanded into Quedra, which is good. Good. Let's look at our recruiting. Of course we need more She-Lords. It will take a while until we can recruit Rees, because they are fairly expensive and need multiple turns, which we absolutely do not want right now. We need as many of those fuckers as possible, and of course as many sacreds as possible. And then, well, we can now hire a complete amount of sacreds, but basically nothing else. Wow, we can absolutely recruit fucking nothing. But well, one of those super sacreds is still better, I suppose, than nothing. Now let's move back here and reassess next turn. Because I think next turn we have 3 idiots again, because, well shit, I think I have to take 1 turn just for more recruitment, because this guy needs his horse back before we can do anything. And then we'll have to go and attack Quedra, because those are the weakest of our current neighbors. Those are dangerous, those are dangerous, those are dangerous. Not as much as the Pegasi, but wow, that was far too close for my taste. And those are just a shitload of troops, but they are probably next. We'll see how our next attack goes. As Hesperia has shown, as long as they're just those tribe peasant types of enemies, we'll probably be able to deal with that shit, but barbarians, too chancy right now. Heavy cavalry, too chancy, because our horse lords are fucking expensive as fuck. So let's instead go into the south and look at this province here. And now, well, not much to do yet. We keep recruiting and hopefully in a couple turns more we'll have Quedra and its giant income. And let's see. Yeah, we don't have enough resources, but we also need at some point money to build more fortresses and temples and laboratories, so it's probably for the best if we can also make some money. And as soon as the army marching on Quedra is there, And then we can, infantry, archers, and militias. Militias, that should be possible. Again, I have to look at how the battle in Quetra goes, because if those lion trap fuckers are absolutely useless, then probably we'll march around to Krenan. That's hard to read. Krenan, it's apparently is the Q continent down here. I'll take that one instead. And then maybe gobble up some more of the easier to take provinces here. And a second army will then be grown here with lots of sheep chefs, so we can overwhelm finally the barbarians here annoying us. It's future. It's in the future. What does our research say? It's not going forward very fast. That's the troublesome thing with elf lords. You need either a second fort to recruit research mages, or you have to go in with a strategy not completely reliant on a hellbless. There are some elf nations that actually have unit riders. I suppose those would be a good fit. But I don't have them. Instead I have the insane expensive strategy, and I'll keep to it since I haven't phenomenally lost yet. But well, let's hope other people are also not completely derailing everything. The only good thing is it seems that there is no enemy dominion down here, so we'll have some time to get on with our shit, and as long as no water empire shows up, our cap is fairly safe behind all the provinces we're trying to get. But let's see. Too bad. As soon as our dominion shows up, we can at least look at how many income we could get. Which is why I am trying to get Kraton really badly. Shitty troops and high income? Thank you. The symbol might mean that there is some sort of, how to put it, mine there, a magical site that generates income. Because otherwise, well, I guess I could just be lucky. Normally provinces like this one here, farmland, are the ones generating money. That's why this farmland has this much income. Plains, not so much, but it's a capital, so it gets money. This plains too, but less income, as you can see, but slightly more resources. Here the same thing. Those three provinces are basically saving our asses right now, because they're funneling all that money to our caps, so we can get more of those expensive elves. Here we have absolutely no idea, except it's plains, so there's probably more income and slightly more resources. But that's funny, my elf lords don't really need that much resources, but because we're surrounded by plains and farmland, we are not getting much resources out of those provinces near our cap, because, well, I think I have forgotten about to mention it, but fortifications have administration values, which allows you to basically drain the surrounding provinces of both resources and money. That's all going there. There's a second thing where if you build a fortress somewhere, then that province suddenly gains additional income, because part of that income is basically hidden. As if you conquer a province, you will get less money than you should, because, well, it's just some idiot governor working for you, so things are a bit chaotic. But if you have a real fortress, that's basically like having a city there, which all puts things on a more orderly level. Taxes are better collected, and there is civil administration looking after things, judges, all that shit. And so is the rule: if you put a fort down here, then you can drain more money off that province, and additionally you can then drain part of the resources around. I said collecting the money, but that's not true. The money you collect by putting forts down, but since forts are fortresses are draining the resources of the surrounding provinces to get more into their own province. This would mean that if I put down castles here, here and here, that means that suddenly TNN itself would fall back to the really tiny amount of resources collected inside here. It's not even that 158 is basically not that bad, but 22 per warrior and 17 for our super mages, that adds up. It's over 100 alone for those. Normally caps have even more, but well, you have this shitty combination of what I call elf luck. Tons of money, but not much to spend it on. Well, hopefully we can pull things around. We really don't want to drain our poor defenseless cap. But as you can follow the lines, we can only drain those 3 provinces. So this one, no. But if we now put a fortress here, for example, then we can basically create a second base, and I'm sorry for saying basically so much. The third thing is eventually we will have to build something here to get those cute mages and flying riders, but considering we have barely enough money to recruit our own super soldiers right now, that's something for the future. Well, let's see. If things work out like I'm planning, I will probably put a fortress either here or here, depending on how much is there to steal from those provinces. The next fortress would, well, if I take Snowford and then drain those provinces, then probably what I'm doing will be to put another castle either here or here to make another drainer. But that's fine in the future. First off, we have to get our survivors back, and then get our poor survivor a horse back, and at that point I have 4 guys on horses. But I guess at that point I'll keep my free should be enough for a sudden super cavalry attack. I'll keep my poor the last misfit in the back row then, casting spells and shit to protect the other guys. This should also help me with blessing shit. But I'm running away into the future again. Let's put another level of conjuration, no, alteration, and so we can gain some forward momentum on buffing spells, which my poor elves will probably need like shit. And then we should go towards conjuration, because at some point we'll need more troops than our poor money can buy, and luckily glamour magic means we can just summon more elves from the overworld. Well, let's plan for survival right now. That was turn 5, and oh, a double turn. Looks I've waited too long. Now I have to talk even more. Sorry about that. Well, hello people. Turn 6. Our sad little we can do nothing turn, because last turn we won an important battle but lost most of our troops. Oh, the harvest has been good. Less unrest, more taxes. In Corbion. That means, well, income of 113 and then twice as much of that. This means we get a full turn of recruitment and have some money left over. Do we need it? Defense. Oh yeah, I should probably upgrade the defense a bit, because if there is even minor unrest here, it will down very slowly if there is no defenders to boost it a little bit, at least a little bit. It's also nice because this way there should be enough defenders to keep out at least some of the more annoying random events that can spawn troops inside your provinces. Enemies troops, I should say. It's not, there are events that give you troops. Those are different. Those are nice. And but your defenses doesn't mean anything to them. They'll just sit there till you collect them. Yeah, that's kind of funny how now here are 40 and now here 120. It's sometimes kind of funny. We probably only really know how many there actually are if we attack. From graphics it seems that now Quernen is easier to conquer. Well, let's see. Right, those are barbarians, yes. Barbarians, barbarians, barbarians. And now, what can I do? Can I give this poor fucker his horse back? Let's first... Fearbolt warrior. Oh, come on. Ah, sorry, my cat is... Vorsichtig! Oh, Amber. Cat is jumpy because I'm talking instead of playing with him. We have this guy. This is unfucking believable guy. We don't want him to immediately run forward and die, so we put him off hold and fire. And that's all we can do with him. So of course, hold and fire and attack. Because those guys don't get a charge bonus. And since they are really precious to me, it's probably for the best if you manage to get one or two of their javelins into the air before they clash with the enemy. And putting them in line formation since I don't have many of them and I like to stick it into an enemy from any way I want to. Then I put this guy here because I really don't want the same thing that happened to the poor Indies last turn happened to me. That means enemy troops just walking past my troops and into the commander. That's always embarrassing. So it looks like we have some troops here now, and a lot of our really strong 12 warriors. And these guys, of course. Those are basically our attack squad. Let's see, recruit. Yeah, she-lords. Okay, I keep mixing this up in my head because 375 gold is what they are costing now. In the last game it was something like 200 and some spare lots, but everything in the Domain 6 is larger. You have more troops, more money, more resources, but mages and shit cost more money too. So we have no holy points, but we have some gold and resources left, so let's recruit some of those slingers. So we have some poor fools who can die for us. And is there a way to get... I keep forgetting how does reacquire mount. Okay, now I have learned something because I did not know this. And while our army is still dangerously small, at least with a good 20 of the 12 warriors, I feel a lot safer now. And with 3 of those weirdos, we should be able to do something that isn't them immediately dying. Probably try a tactic where my 2 others will just walk forward, throw their spears, and then attack with their other spears. Ah, yes. What in English is called a javelin, we in German would call a spear, a spear. What those guys are carrying, we would also call a spear, a spear. So that can be a bit confusing. I like to call those golden spears lances, to keep in my head that's a melee weapon. Of course it can be a bit confusing because there's also riding lances Yeah, okay. I try to stay in the realm of this game here to not confuse you. So what I'm wanting to do is marching my really important small guys forward, let them throw their spears, their javelins, and then march forward into melee, while the 3 commanders I'm taking with me will buff them first and then try to rush forwards and get into the black line to step the commanders. And if they don't manage that, well, they also have insanely high defenses and should survive until my large squad of 2 others has killed everyone else. This is my strategy. And sadly, because I have to wait until my prophet gets his mount back, we can do nothing. And as soon as this army is marching forward, we then have to immediately start making a new one. As I've learned, sadly, I can't do this really annoying shit I did in Dominion's 5 and make little squads of 2 to 4 of my shield lords and have them attack alone, just massacring everyone. As you have seen, it's dangerous, risky, and almost didn't work. Also, those shield lords almost cost double what my old shield lords cost in Dominion's 5. I probably should try to conserve them a bit. I'm now thinking that maybe since I want a second army, it's good. These are really good commanders and better mages even than my shield lords, so I would make a good foundation for a new army. But I'm thinking, we are still in the beginning phase of the game. I'll probably make the 3rd army after the 2nd one, led by a Re, because by then I should have 2 expansion armies and shouldn't be that crippled anymore by lack of money and shit. So let's do this instead. Next turn my 4 shield lords will march forward, and then I start immediately recruiting 4 to 5 more and filling them with some cheap chaff like those slingers and a maximum amount of... Oh, I think that's my neighbor. He is drilling something again. Yeah, just in case you hear that. And then after the 2nd army marches out, I will slow it down a bit and start making an army that has 1 Re and then, let's say, 4 shield lords. And if I don't need that 4th army because I'm conquering everything before me, then I will switch for a while to other sorceresses because they are fucking nuts. Giant amount of research ability, and they are naturally level 4 glamour mages. That's high for just 1 mage. There are also other options like the Bao Banshee, which is a glamour mage who is also stealthy, and an assassin. That's an option I should take into account. And we have the Banshee. I hope I pronounced this correctly. And they are your basic research mages. Not too shabby with 13 research, there are far worse options. Like our shield lords, for example, who are 11. And a lot of other nations have to do something with 9 and 7 as research, those poor bastards. But those are basically, they have the basic water, nature and glamour, and then they get 1 of 5 possible options guaranteed. So they are basically then 3 or 4 paths in something. There is a 3 to 5 chance that they get a 2nd level and whatever those 3 are here, those 3. While 2 others get 4-2 and then a 2nd path of the those 4 elemental magic paths, and a 10% chance of getting even more. So they're basically super mages, and I'm saying basically again, I'm sorry. So we will see those, because if I need some big magic on the field, well, those are perfect. They will probably join some of my later mid-game armies when I have the research to actually use some impressive spells. But that's in the future. Right now I would say how many turns? If there are no great losses, then 4 turns for the next army, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 turns, then I have 3 armies, and probably if I don't need immediately reinforcements, I'll probably just make the 3rd army slowly stronger by recruiting more mages instead of more G-Lords. At some point after all of this, I will hopefully have a second fort with a second laboratory and shit, and start recruiting some of my cheaper mages to have some reliable research. And after all, if I want to go the overround and instead recruit really expensive mages here, I'll need some place where I can get more She-Lords for my offensive armies. Again, and this is a turn where I can only talk a lot, look at my research, confirm my recruitment, and that's it. Next turn will be more interesting. Well, interesting, yeah, I think my slingers will slow down my armies a bit, so it will take 2 turns until I can get either here or here. Alright, I really want this income. Well, let's hope. Oh, maybe have more defenders because they're in the influence of my crazy dominion, and growth 2 may boost their population, tax income, and defenders more and more each turn. Something to think about. Luckily, we can recruit our super elves faster. They can get more cheap trash. Anyway, that was turn 5. Let's come again in another turn. Oh, I keep forgetting something. Now I'm interested. Is there something else here? Here seems another coastline, but there's also a bridge. The bridge is farther away, so let's go and take a look at that bridge. Yeah, that's obviously a water province because here is no connection. So let's take a look at Rivia in 2 turns to see where that fucking bridge is going. And then let's hope that there is no enemy dominion inside, because that means that I have to actually do something about real players and not just poor helpless indie soldiers. Anyway, that was the end of my turn. Until then, Liploini out.